Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dan Fisher, and I am a psychiatrist. I'm also a person of lived experience. I made a big mistake, I think, thinking that by becoming a psychiatrist I could change the system from within. Very difficult. Here we are out here on the sidewalk. Many of us should be in there talking to people, or they should be out here. We have a definite breakdown in communication here. One reason for that is that the movement, our movement, has taken a position which I think we have to take, which is that we need a revolution, basically. We can enter into conversation, but we also have to have the firmness that the change has to be a very deep-seated change. This idea that we need a revolution is not unique to our movement. The UN Rapporteur for Human Rights last year came out with a statement calling for a revolution in mental health. His name is Dr. Paras, and he said, and I'll quote you, my wife said, "Do you think that's a little extreme, calling for revolution?" I said, no, it's not extreme when we have such oppression going on. So he said, we need a revolution in mental health care to end the decades of neglect, abuse, and violence. Mental health policies are in a crisis, not of chemical imbalances, but power imbalances. In policy making, service provision, education, and research, the dominance of the biomedical model. We have to end the dominance of the biomedical model. As long as people are told that their problems are chemical, all the solutions will be chemical. I asked people online to give me some ideas about what to say today, and one was a mother. Her son in high school was told that he had schizophrenia. He was told that he would never recover fully, that he'd have to take medication the rest of his life, and that the best he could do is volunteer job. This is a daily tragedy that's going on right today, right at this moment. Many young people are being told this prognosis of doom. Yet, luckily, they came to see me, and I said, don't believe what the psychiatrist said. They didn't. They heard that people can recover. People do recover. And he weaned down off of medication. He's back in school. He's socializing, and his mother feels that he has a life again. Everybody out there should learn that these are not lifelong conditions. They're post-traumatic. I think the majority, almost all of these problems are post-traumatic. So here are a few of the other comments that people made. My good friend George Ebert, I wish he were able to be here. His t-shirt's here at least. He said, end the promotion of psychiatric pharmaceuticals as medicine. Second person said, build communities that are respectful of diversity. And I want to just make a comment about this. Our movement is too white. I agree, our movement's too white. And those of us that have been around, we need to make room for people of color, because the intersectionality of oppression is real and alive, and not only in terms of people of color, but also in terms of the queer, gay community. And we need to reach out to all marginalized groups. And if we do, our strength will be doubled, tripled, much greater. We see crises as breakthroughs, not breakdowns. We listen to the cries of pains as warnings to society. Medications are overprescribed, overemphasized. We need to tell people that the withdrawal from medication is a very serious period that you go through, and it's not a symptom of mental illness. It's a withdrawal from these medications that really are very much addictive. And you won't hear that over there. We have to stop glossing over the glaring social inequities. We have to stop blaming the survivors. We have to stop labeling, which disempowers. We need a Jean Vanier, who's a French priest, who said, really, we are all equal. We need to enter into every relationship as respectfully as possible. Psychiatry cannot carry out this revolution from the inside. just as persons with lived experience have led the way in psychiatry and all the innovations in mental health in the last 20 years, we need to continue those innovations. We now know that we must lead this revolution. We need to carry out the theme of nothing about us without us in every realm of the system, in services by having peer-run respites and recovery centers like the Western Mass Recovery Learning Community. In every town, every hamlet should have these. They're less expensive, less traumatic, and they work. We need to have training for recovery of life principles and practices designed by us in every professional school, in every community. Make a little plug for emotional CPR. We've been working on that as an alternative to mental health first aid. Mental health first aid generally is quite oppressive. It teaches the community how to diagnose. We're trying to teach everybody to help everybody, just like that manifesto from the Insane Liberation Front 48 years ago. And then we also need to have evaluations carried out by peers, as are done in Pennsylvania, and have peers significantly present in all policy formation. The system will not give up its power through goodwill. We must organize at every level. At the national level, we've created a National Coalition for Mental Health Recovery. We represent 27 states. Help this coalition and its voice in Washington grow by attending the People's Alternatives in 2018. I want to say the government did us a favor by not funding alternatives this year. Alternatives will be the people's alternatives this year. Come to Washington, July 29th to August 3rd. We will have advocacy training, we'll have our day on the Hill, and we'll build our movement so that nothing will stop us. Thank you all very much. Woo, woo.